Greetings. Let us proceed. So the ones I'm in, I'm only going to talk about the relevant ones. So let's go to the green list, right? AUDUSD is performing fantastically, as I assumed it would. I think in the last video, I simply said that I was waiting for, because I like my big legs, my big, thick legs on the daily. I was waiting for a bearish candle close, right? And then it closed, and so when I had my bearish candle close on the daily in the fib that I wanted, when I look to the left, I'm also at a weekly demand level. Go to the 4 hour and and then, you know, I entered upon this bullish retracement, put the stop losses here initially, and then after I saw this bearish candle formed, I moved stops to that level. Um, and so my overall target is really it's a negative 27%, but I'm probably going to take profit maybe around here or here, depending on what my accounts are looking like, if I need to close anything out or what weekly price is looking like. So this is going well, but like weekly price, for example, let's talk about the yen actually real quick before I do anything else. So I got out of my AJ buys on Friday. But that was because I was looking for a reason to buy, I mean, a reason to exit. So first of all, I was at a high. So I'm like, okay, I'm back to the high that I was at. I go on the weekly chart and I look to the left. There's a whole bunch of traffic. There's a lot of we're congested. We're actually congested. I can't breathe. So I exited out. And then we had this nice steep retracement. I do think it's going to continue bullish. I just wanted to take profits because I feel like a 1 to 5 is fine for me. No, it's more than a 1 to 3, and I'm like, I'd rather take my profits because I don't know how long it's going to take to get to the negative 27%. So I'm not looking for any more entries on this right now. I'm just leaving that alone. GJ. So I didn't take this GJ buy right here because of something in my trading plan that saved me, and I'm glad I included it about a month or two ago. It was okay when you're on the monthly or the weekly, if you see any chart patterns that could mess your trade up or go against your direction, you cannot trade that plan. You can't trade that pair until it actually breaks that level. So I have a bullish candle with a whole lot of wick. After that, I have a bearish candle right here on a weekly. So this is one level that equals a resistance level, right? And then I get a bullish candle, cool. I get a bearish candle. Now you're rejecting it twice. Twice. To me, that's a double top. It doesn't mean that it's going to break levels of support on the weekly or whatever. It just means it's going to pull back a little bit further than maybe something that just didn't print a double top. So, and then I saw this move on the daily trading. I was like, exactly, exactly. I'm keeping myself safe. I'm understanding when not to trade, which is so important. But now that we've fallen in the 61.8% level, I'm like, well, overall, we're still pretty bullish. Maybe if I see a bullish candle close on the daily candle, I could potentially entertain some buys. Um, it's like, yes, I still see that the double top printed, but now that we're sweeping new lows on the daily, I feel like the institutions got what they wanted. And this I could be wrong, but we'll see. So yeah, close out AJ buys. EN never got in there. EJ double top. So this is another one that I think would be nice to potentially get into. Gbpjpy. I was looking at all the pairs that were not on my watch list and seeing if anything developed nicely. And I saw that this is aggressively trending. What? How could you go wrong? How could you go wrong? So monthly, weekly, you already know it's bullish. Just gonna go look for some liquidity. We find some here. And so here, um, on the daily, the last point that we had a level of support break was this. So this is my point A, bring it up to my point B. Now we're just seeing seeing what's up. So I need it to come to this level for me to do anything at all. Otherwise, I'm not touching it. Um, that's that on that. And now my AU sells, which I'm liking so far. She's moving nicely with plenty of her, right? And I feel like the previous weekly candle close was quite telling anyways. So I'm gonna hold and keep holding until I see something absolutely terrible that tells me to get out. Like maybe a bullish engulfing on the daily or something. But la 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 la. Sad about UCAT buys. I did mention it in my last video that I wanted to get into it after it came down here, but I didn't because by the time I woke up, the 4 hour was like already up here, and I was like, that's too fat of a stop, and I didn't want to put my stops here because it's not as close to the main fib level. I just didn't want to risk it, so I just let her fly. But I had it planned, but I did not wake up on time, so I had to write to myself to make sure that I get up on time or set alarms if I know a 4 hour is going to close at 5 a.m., then I need to be up. So I've been getting up earlier. Um, oh yeah, and oil. I was in an oil sell last time I made a video. Kind of feel like it's still gonna go bearish more, but when we started breaking these highs, I exited out and I was like, that's fine. I'm not interested because every single time I get into one of the trades that is like my signature trade and it actually hits take profit, the first week has a lot of volume. It's not like teensy tiny movements going back and forth. So it felt wrong anyways. So yeah. Bitcoin, I do think is going to come down to 100K, maybe a little bit lower, do a little dancey dance, and then to continue back bullish, I would need to see a weekly bullish engulfing. S&P, if I was trading it, I would want to drop down to this level if I was trading it. I do think there's a potential because it's S&P and not Forex that it could continue back bullish from here. I feel like this is enough, but if it was me, trading it, I would wait for it to drop, and it's probably not gonna. I don't know. I'm oh no. No, the dollar is interesting. Um, if it actually breaks this level completely, we are like good to trade back up to here, and it would be easy sailing for the next few months. I personally think that the dollar is going to continue, and this was my thought from the jump. If I go to the 6 month time frame, okay, let's be real. We never really broke support since 2008. So unless something drastic is going to happen, I mean, granted, it could happen, but according to technical analysis, so far, we're all good. We're breaking these highs, making higher lows, we're making higher highs, making higher lows very successfully. So if this 100K level breaks, then I definitely think we're going to go back to 103. But at least that brings a good chunk, a good amount of clarity for the dollar pairs for the next few months. AU, UCAD, NU, UJ, EG, EU, and GU, which are currently going bearish right now. So, but yeah, that is my analysis for this week. Might not make another video until some take profits are hit or until I take a new trade. So yeah, happy trading, y'all. Don't blow your account. It's important to not do that.